The battle for the Lamar Hunt Trophy begins as we're underway in this AFC wildcard game. This fielded at the 2. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line.
At their own 22-yard line.
Down, 18 Gator, 54. They're going to need some therapy.
They'll start on the ground with Barber. He's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on first down.
Well, I think that's what they're going to need to do here in the first half. You've got to take some pressure off of this young quarterback, and no better way to do it than to establish the running game early.
From the 31, Young. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
We said it before the game, and I think it's still apparent. If these guys are going to advance in these playoffs, they're going to have to wreak some havoc coming off the edge.
Yeah, wild card round, they told us the wild card could be that defensive pressure. They showed it there. Young on third down. The catch made by Miller. And he'll be corralled right around the 34. The Steeler first down on the pickup of 11 yards. From the 34 now, here's first and 10. Barber on first and 10. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and it's second down.
Second and 10 at the 34-yard line.
So after the run for no gain, here's second and 10.
Alpha.
Young working out of the gun. And that's going to be incomplete. A lot of contact, no call, and it's third down.
And it is true. You can draft the fastest. You can draft the most athletic guys. But if they don't know the art of positioning, sometimes it's all for naught. In this case, in the right spot, help force the incompletion.
Yeah, but had his hands on it for a second. Would have been a tough catch, though. Falls incomplete. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
This is away and a very good kick, angled for the sidelines. And this will pin him nicely inside the 20 as it's out of bounds at about the 14-yard line. Jackson and the Ravens come up now first and 10 at their own 14-yard line.
Watch twins. Watch twins.
SOS, SOS, SOS. SOS, SOS, SOS.
Deuce, 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 deuce.
They run with Sayers. Try to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. No gain on the play there. Second down.
Second and 10 at the 14-yard line.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. Now it's Jackson. Got him in. It's Brown. They'll get 9 there as that sets him up better for 3rd down.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
Came up a little short on the last pass play. They did get 9 yards out of it, leaving him with his 3rd and 1. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's able to pick up the 1st down here before he goes down at the 26. It's a 1st down following a gain of 3.
1st and 10 at the 26-yard line.
Check pass, check pass.
Now Sayers. Only a couple there as he'll be brought down about the 28.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. A run. This is Sayers. A pickup of about 3 yards as he's taken down at the 31.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things, but the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
58, boy, 58, 58, Mike. Know your job. Let's go.
From the gun on 3rd down, Jackson. This complete to Jones. And they'll get him down about 3 yards short of the 1st. 2 yards is all they'll get on the completion. It's 4th down.
Well, we hear so often how tackling has become almost a lost art in the NFL game, but it's so important to tackle well on these receivers, especially in a play like this one. 3rd down, they gave him the underneath stuff. You got to go up and make the tackle right away.
And this one will not be returnable as it sails out of bounds.
At their own 27-yard line.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. The crowd may be losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts.
They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break away, whether it's through the air or on the ground. Now it'll be interesting to see where the patience is on both sides. Each head coach, can you hang in there and not try and force something that could put your team in some jeopardy?
A carry for Barber. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a 1st down.
It's nice every now and then in this game not to see people overthink it. Just hand it to the old reliable guy. Let him pick up the 1st down.
Young off the bootleg. Slice, and he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes.
Now, we talk about players blitzing all the time. I often laugh and sometimes call it just straight-ahead pursuit. What a running start right back to the backfield for him.
Yeah, it really didn't give anybody a chance to get up there and stop him.
No, I mean, that's really, really difficult. You're asking a whole lot anyway, but when he gets that kind of a start and comes through clean, oftentimes the advantage definitely goes to the defensive player.
Now this is Le'Veon Bell with a reception. Give him 9 on the play, and that's going to make it 3rd down and 10. The threat of a second straight punt to start the game is looming as they come up 3rd and 10. Here's Young from the shotgun. And it's intercepted. Picked off by Marlon Humphrey. And now off to the races down the right side. And he will score. Touchdown, Baltimore.
That was an interception, but on the field, the guys who are picking it off, they're not saying that. What word are they using? It's Oski, and that means catch the ball and go the other way.
That's your vernacular. I've never heard anybody say Oski.
Ask around. They'll tell you.
Tucker able to connect on the extra point, and it's now a 7-0 game. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six. And now the kick is away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And this is a unit that, to be frank, doesn't look like they've woken up yet. I mean, a punt and a turnover on their first two drives.
And I think the game's starting to take shape a little bit now. And I'm going to take it into the basketball world. When you're having trouble scoring or moving the ball in basketball, what do? Get it to their best player, right? Find a matchup, create it, exploit it, and try and move the football.
Back to the ground, this time with Bell. And getting this just shy of midfield, they'll spot it at the 49. Pittsburgh getting 16 yards there and also a first down.
Partner, if you want more carries, I think we saw how you get him. Showed that he's got the fresh legs, and he picked up the first down on that run. Don't just ask for him. Show him that you're supposed to get the football.
And across midfield he goes into Raven territory. Marlon Humphrey with the tackle defensively. Second and 5 now. Young. And hauled in by the tight end Miller. And he's going to be taken down with the first down at the Ravens' 24-yard line.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. And that's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
On second down, it's Barber, and he'll take this inside the 20 and down to the 18. Calling a gain of a couple, and that's going to leave him with a third and about 5. I think you mentioned in the opening drive that these guys needed to establish the run, protect the young QB. Actually broke that down, believe it or not. So how would you assess things so far?
I'm kind of touched that you actually wrote something like that down. I appreciate that, partner. But I do think they've been able to do that. Maybe not as effectively as they wanted to, but I think we'll see more of as this game goes along because they want to continue to take care of that young QB.
Meanwhile, on third down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete. And Boswell's kick is good. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. Well, that's something of a pick-me-up. The offense certainly has struggled, but they do get the field goal before half to put 3 on the board.
Yeah, you don't want to be shut out, but let's face it. Those 3 points, that's not going to solve all their problems either.
And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line.
The Ravens take over first and 10 at their own 28-yard line.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. They're out in front. Last time they had to punt it away. We'll see if they can add to their lead now.
They don't want to go out and punt it away again. This team now wants to get a cushion, put people away. They want to run their offense and have it end up in the end zone.
Brings up second and 10 at the 28-yard line.
Here we go. Time to end it. Man, I got you. Man, I got you.
A run at Sayers' right side. Gets past one man. And to the 36-yard line. Taken down there after getting 8 yards. Coming up at the half, we remind you that we're going to do what we've done all year. We'll get you down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. Coach will have the lowdown of what's going on here in this wild card weekend as we begin the road to the upcoming Super Bowl. And he's got his man, Marquise Brown. And he will be knocked down hard, but he will have the first down. Give him the third down conversion, 5 yards on the play.
First and 10 at the 41.
They'll run with the Hall of Famer Sayers. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
Yeah, baby. That's it. Mike 5'9", Mike 5'9".
Let's go, tight end. Let's go right here now. Hey, check. Motion out of the backfield. Motion out of the backfield.
Here's a give now to Sayers. And he still has yet to get on track in this first half as they're going to stop him behind the line. Now the Steelers use the first of their 3 timeouts, as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. And on third down, a nickel formation here defensively. Jackson from the shotgun. Flushed out right. And he will go down outside of the pocket for a sack. Tried to get away but could not. The Steelers signal for the second of their timeouts, as the clock's going to stop with 47 seconds to go in half number 1. On is the punter, Cook, who sends it away. And a little too much mustard on that one. It hits a couple yards into the end zone. A missed opportunity there maybe to pin him back. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. Inside of a minute left in the half. Does the fact that you're down on the scoreboard influence what you do, or I guess don't do on this final drive?
It certainly does, but what influences me even more?
Well, this is taken in. It's complete. Now the Steelers going to use their third and final timeout, as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. Now Young. He completes this into the hands of Miller. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or 2 shy of the 10. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
Hey, Haywood.
Final play of the half, Young fighting to stay upright toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete. So we're at halftime of this AFC wildcard matchup, as we'll send you down to Orlando and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. Both teams try to avoid being one and done in these playoffs as we start the second half of this AFC wildcard game. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working, and call more of that.
Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28.
No.
And he'll push his way forward to about the 32.
That's a really good job right there. Just kept stringing that play out, pushing further and further towards the sideline. Really good fundamentals by that defense.
He was trying to put his foot in the ground and turn upfield. He just couldn't.
No, they really had a picket fence in front of him. No room to find to get upfield.
Jackson looking to throw on third. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
That'd be exactly what they were looking for coming out to start the third quarter. Get a sack, get off the field, get the momentum going in their direction.
Get the ball back to your offense, right? Get that momentum because, hey, this lead is very, very slim. This is away, but boy, headed straight for the sidelines. And the punt over the side in the air, and the spot will be inside the 35.
At their own 34-yard line.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And with the way this offense has played thus far, to be frank, they got to feel pretty grateful to be in the ball game.
I would agree with you totally because they've done all of nothing offensively in this game, yet they still find themselves in a position on this drive where a touchdown can give them the lead. They need to take advantage of it.
And they're still looking for that first touchdown here in the third quarter. All they have so far, the field goal. And it looks like a pickup of 6. That leaves them with 7 yards to go on third down.
On a second and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation, they can still run the football and gain enough yardage to put themselves in a good spot on third down.
And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. A pickup of 24 on the third down conversion. Running is Barber. And he'll be brought down, losing yardage back at the 40. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's second down.
Ready? Hey, my 7.
Brings up second and 11.
We ain't beginning.
The 40-yard line.
Don't get nervous. Mine's 54.
On second and 11 now. Young. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's third down.
Ready, break.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Out of the gun, it's Young. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
And I tell you what, he got it from 58. That had lots of leg behind it. These kickers now, it used to be that a 50-plus yarder was cause for celebration. Now, seemingly automatic.
Yeah, isn't it funny when we prepare for a game, when you look at the backgrounds of these kickers, it's interesting, isn't it, to find out they were all-state quarterbacks, receivers, defensive backs, all-state wrestlers, right? Baseball players. We're finding athletes all along, and now they're just specialists putting it through the posts.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. The results for them so far not that great. Well, not good at all. 3 drives, 3 punts.
Yeah, and now what you're doing is you're looking at your play sheet. You're trying to figure out what you're going against defensively. I wonder, are they showing them something they haven't seen or anticipated in practice, and maybe that's throwing them off? Or do they just have to go to a different play calling section and try and run some offense that way?
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. From the gun, Jackson. Open receiver, that's Hayden Hurst, the tight end. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion that would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
It'll be a 2-yard gain, and they're going to face a third down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
Ready. Not a wolf. Yeah. Mike, 58, right there. Watch the run, watch the run.
To throw again is Jackson. Steps away to his left. And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40. Lamar Jackson, such a threat with those legs, able to improvise and get the first.
That's something we have not seen him do to this point, and that's take the ball, tuck it, and run.
Exactly right. His first carry of the game. I guess he picked a good time to do it.
He certainly did. Not only did he have the element of surprise, he's making sure he's judicious in taking off.
Operating out of Steeler territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 41. Able to push forward for about 4 down to the 37.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
To throw on 2nd and 6, Jackson. And his guys are going to have the football back as the 3rd quarter comes to an end. 1 quarter remains for the right to survive round 1 here in the AFC. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. Their defense has done the job. Now it's the offense's turn as they've got it 1st and 10. And he'll be tackled just past the 35 at the 36. And they give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
4 yards on the pickup. 2nd down, 6.
On 2nd down, it's Bell. It'll only be a gain of a yard, and it sets up a 3rd down and 4 now.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
And he's got Miller. And he'll be stopped right at midfield. It's a Pittsburgh 1st down, a gain of 13.
I got a kick out of that one, partner. You and I talk often about trying to hide receivers in certain situations, but a guy of his size can't really hide him. But the tight end drag route, definitely an effective way to sneak him across the formation for an easy completion and a 1st down.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Young. Looking right sideline, that's complete. A gain there of 21 yards. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
So in Raven territory now, here's a 1st and 10 as they're down to the 29-yard line. Out of the shotgun, it's Bell. And he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down. I'm no offensive mastermind, but of all the guys on the field to block, you might want to stop him.
Look, I've got a very simple rule. An unblocked defender is usually your best defender, and he ended up making the play there.
Flush to his right, and he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 18, and he will return this one to the 30-yard line.
Well, I get what he was trying to do. He was moving to his right and trying to shift the coverage, but instead he shifted the coverage also to the right and threw right into it for an interception.
The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. Now listen, it's a team game, we know that, but where would these guys be right now, Charles, without their defense? They take over here following the turnover. Defense did it again, but on offense they have to feel like, hey, we need to do something.
You're exactly right. You just mentioned it. The defense did it again. They bailed them out on a number of occasions in this contest. It's time for them to repay the defense at the least. Keep the ball for a while. Give those guys a break so they can catch their breath.
And very little daylight there. He'll get a couple up to the 44.
All right, that's a decent game there, but it hasn't been his best game overall. So I wonder what the mindset is of his team. Do they want him to handle the football and try and close this game out? Or are they going to make an alternative plan and maybe go in a different direction?
I think they need him, and this is his time to shine. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 10 yards there, good enough for a Raven 1st down.
Well, they didn't accomplish their goal. They didn't get a stop there, gave up another 1st down. They have all 3 timeouts in their pocket. I think defensively you've got to start thinking about using them here.
I was just going to ask you at what point you think now's the go time?
I think now's the go time. I don't think you sit back and wait because they can take a lot of time off the clock between plays and run 3 to 4 and really put you in a stressful spot.
And he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30. That's good for a Raven first down, 15 yards there. And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. And now, defensively, they're going to burn their first time out. Remember, they get an extra time built in coming up here shortly at the 2-minute warning. Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. They go play action now. Jackson buying time to his left. He's going to take off with it. He turned that into a nice gain. Gets him 8 yards closer for 3rd down.
Okay, he's not going to get the first down, but this is still a nice job of buying some time and then running to get to the sideline and get out of bounds and avoid the big hit.
Here we go, 3rd and 1. Gut check time on both sides. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain that time, and they're going to be left looking up at a 4th and 1. So it's Raven football here as we welcome you back. They're looking at a 4th down now as they try to hold on to this lead for dear life. And Tucker's kick right there. It's good. And they bump the lead up to 4 now at 10-6. So they get the 3, but you wonder now, is that going to be enough?
Excellent question, because when I look at the smiles on that side of the field, they're a little tight, aren't they? If they had scored a touchdown there, those would be big half-moon grins right now because they'd feel a whole lot better about their position.
And a touchdown in the other direction, all of a sudden they're down.
At their own 25-yard line.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate, and of course they'd like to forget the ending, the interception, but they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them,
and he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. Terrell Suggs in there to drop him as that clock continues to run. After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here. Young. Now a desperation throw deep down. Oh, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked off right around the 43.
And that one, it's going to hurt big time. You're in the 2-minute drill trying to get your guys down the field, and it's looking like they're going to go up just short, as this is definitely not his best throw. And it'll wind up being intercepted.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. On the give, this is Sayers. That's a gain of 4 here in the 4th quarter, with them leading by 4 on the scoreboard. Now the Steelers use the 2nd of their 3 timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6.
I'm coming after you. I'm coming after you. You go tight. You got tight.
Now a handoff here to his running back. Give him 4 on the carry, and it'll make this a 3rd and about 2. Now a timeout called for by the defense as they stop it here with 1:07 remaining. They'll try and run for it with Sayers. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. It's a pickup of 11 and a Baltimore first down.
I know we're in the era of wide-open football, a lot of spread formations, more space, but there's still a spot for power football, and we just saw some of it right there. How about that run?
Yeah, breaking the tackle, and, you know, late in this game, he wants the football in his hands. He's had a good day. They go down to a knee, and that will do it. They are moving on here in the playoffs. Able to go down to a knee, wrap this one up in the wild card round. Being at home, that certainly helped.
Yeah, no doubt about it. And think of it this way. If this is tennis, they held serve. They did what they were supposed to do. Won at home, rewarded their home crowd. They may have to go on the road the rest of the way, but they'll do it with some confidence.
And losing in this wild card round, you know, they've got something to build on, though, for next year, but I don't know if they want to hear that right now.
Maybe not at the moment, but once they get away from it a little bit and they get to their off-season program, and they'll start to talk about that. And I like how you framed it, building blocks, you know, building this program up. And one of my favorite coaches always talks about brick by brick, you build a program. And this is one of those bricks to build them towards the next season where they think they have a chance to advance farther in the playoffs.
So that'll do it for us. For my partner, Charles Davis, and all the hard-working men and women on our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL right here on EA Sports. The Ravens are victorious here as we say so long from Baltimore.